Star Wars 7x7 episode 2255. Today, another installment in our What to Watch Now series, and this time we're focusing on something that, well, since it's a little harder to experience in person right now, you can still actually experience it online. Punch it! Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod, and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So, I personally did not get to go to Galaxy's Edge when it opened, either at Walt Disney World or Disneyland, and that was, before the whole coronavirus epidemic came and shut everything down, and then, yes, things started to reopen, and then shut down again, and, got it reopened with, limited capacity and all this stuff, and well, be that as it may, I personally have not yet been to Galaxy's Edge, and I know that is the case for a lot of Star Wars fans. And as part of the podcast, I have read, the Traveler's Guide to Batuu and the novel Black Spire and A Crash of Fate and, all these other sources of information about Batuu and about Galaxy's Edge, about that experience. So, it's not as if I'm not familiar with the stuff there, but the one thing that somehow I just never did was actually watch a lot of video related to Galaxy's Edge. And in particular, there are videos of people going through Millennium Falcon: Smuggler's Run and Rise of the Resistance. Now, I could have sworn that there was something official out there, as in there was something from Disney Parks or Imagineering or from Lucasfilm or from Star Wars or, just some particularly official Disney entity that would have published it. I swear I had seen a note about something about, a virtual tour of, I think it was particularly for the Rise of Resistance ride, and was not able to find it. But as I was looking around on YouTube, I saw that there are multiple videos where people have posted recordings of their experiences on the Smuggler's Run ride and on the Rise of the Resistance ride. Now, as opposed to other, installments of the What to Watch Now series where, if I say, hey, check out the Star Wars Holiday Special, or check out Willow, or check out the Mandalorian documentary series, or what have you, right? Like, there's not necessarily a spoiler situation because when you watch it, that's it. There is, I guess, sort of a spoilery situation in watching video for Smuggler's Run or Rise of the Resistance in that, once you do it, then you know the story, and so when you actually get to go to Galaxy's Edge someday, then yes, certainly you won't have the full surprise of the experience because you might have watched video of those rides previously. That being said, I hit a point where I just, was looking at, life and, school reopening and having just sent a son off to college and, my own personal situation, and thought, what? I have no idea when I'm going to be able to get to a Disney park anytime in the near future. And so any resolve I might have had about trying to keep myself in the dark about that sort of thing just broke. And so I went onto YouTube and got to searching, and there are multiple videos from multiple sources. I will say I found one from Expedia, which, I would have thought might have been, the best one, and unfortunately not. Like, there are little snips and pieces. It says it's a full ride video. It's not. So I will post links to, a couple of examples of full ride videos at the blog for this, the blog post for this show's episode at sw7x7.com. But, ones that I post, not necessarily definitive. At least they're definitive enough where if you watch it, you get an experience of the ride in full. But I would highly encourage you to go ahead and check them out, more than once, especially with Smuggler's Run, which is supposed to have variations on what happens in particular things and, just how you maneuver and whether you crash into stuff or that sort of thing. So yeah, there are variables that can happen with that particular ride. I'm not sure if that's the case with Rise of the Resistance. I didn't have that experience, but I'm thinking of like Star Tours, for example, where the ride is different depending on which planet you end up going to, and There is an element of that with Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run where things can be different, but I don't get that case with Rise of the Resistance. But there is one unquantifiable element that makes the whole experience of even watching these videos really awesome, and I will share that with you, but I do want to give a quick shout out first to our friends at Audible and just remind you that you can get a free audiobook download and free 30-day trial via sw7x7.com/audible. And thank you so much to our friends at Audible for making this possible to get you a download of whatever you would like to listen to instead of read. I mean, it doesn't have to be a Star Wars book. It can be any of thousands of books that you can get on Audible, and all read by some very cool people and often with incredible sound production, especially in Star Wars stories. So if you like listening to podcasts, you might like listening to a full novel or even nonfiction book told to you as well. So check out sw7x7.com/audible for a free download and free 30-day trial, and thank you for supporting the show. All right, so that unquantifiable element that makes watching videos of these rides so special is the fan reactions. So when you're watching some of these videos that are recorded from inside the ride, there are, all sorts of people around. Whether in Smuggler's Run, there's only, 6 people in the cockpit of the thing, so it's limited. But Rise of the Resistance takes a good couple of dozen people into the ride at a given time, and people's reactions to what's happening are just so spectacular and heartwarming. Like the excitement, the joy, the surprise, the exclamations, it's so much fun. And I have to say, here we are, we've been, physically distancing and doing all sorts of things over Zoom and, emotional connection and, getting with people in the same physical space does not come as easily as it has, say, prior to 2020. So, getting to witness these expressions of joy and appreciation, that level of excitement is not something I feel like we get as a people right now very often and, very intensely. So this is another way to kind of tap into that emotion. And I don't know, I think that was actually for me the best part of checking out the videos of the ride-throughs of Smuggler's Run and Rise of the Resistance. So there you go. That's where we're going to leave things today, and that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me again. Check out sw7x7.com for this episode, and you can see a couple of examples of those ride-through videos, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
Star Wars 7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2020 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.